Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming. It's been a good few years since my last public reading of A Christmas Carol, and I thought this time I may treat you all to something a bit more special. For those of you who don't know me, come one, come all, and know me better. It is I, Charles Dickens, and I have something a little different for you all tonight. A sequel, if you will, a follow-up. A Christmas Carol 2. Now, settle in as we begin where we left off.
Mr. Cratchit, can you please explain to me why you were not at work this morning?
Oh, please, Mr. Scrooge. Christmas comes but once a year.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I am not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore...
Mr. Scrooge, please.
And therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Begging your pardon, sir?
Merry Christmas, Bob. That's right. I'm raising your salary, and we must do something about this little house of yours.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, we don't know what to say.
Say yes, and please call me Ebenezer. For too long have I wasted my money and my time on naught but myself. A new house for the Cratchits and a good full tum for Tiny Tim.
Cool, blimey! A full tum for Tiny Tim!
Now come along and we'll discuss your affairs this very afternoon.
And Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend and as good a man as the old city knew, and any other city, town, or borough in all the world. And, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone!
Or so you thought. Scrooge tried his best to spread his wealth and bring joy to the community, and for a while, it seemed there was not a more generous man in London than Ebenezer Scrooge, and after a year of charity, Christmas Eve arrived once again.
Morning, Ebenezer. You are interested in some drummers drumming for the big day tomorrow?
Why, of course, Sebastian. Put me down for a dozen.
Blimey! I'll be able to head home early and kiss my wife square on the mouth. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
And a Happy New Year to you.
Mr. Scrooge! Mr. Scrooge!
My dear child, how many times? Call me Ebenezer.
Sorry, Ebenezer, sir. I need 50 quid to settle my debts with the Bowery boys, or I'll be slit from neck to navel.
Say no more, you charming little devil. Here you are.
Thanking you kindly, sir.
Children these days and their organised crime syndicates.
Good morning, Ebenezer. The sisters and I are running a collection for the church roof. It's totally fucked.
Why, of course. Take as much as you need.
Oh, we should call you Saint Scrooge.
Oh, make nothing of it, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Ebenezer was generous to a fault, but like a Satsuma in an otherwise exemplary Christmas stocking, misfortune arrived rather unexpectedly on his doorstep.
Extra, extra, read all about it, read all about it. London's most charitable man, Ebenezer Scrooge, files for bankruptcy.
Wait, I don't understand.
You haven't been keeping up with the papers, have you, Mr. Scrooge? If you don't pay the mortgage, you don't own the land.
Well, this is preposterous. Do you know who I am?
Why, of course, you're the most charitable man in all of London.
Exactly. I've given away to everyone.
Sounds like a terrible way to run a business.
Well, at least things can't get any worse.
Extra, extra, Mr. Scrooge looks tired and sad.
Tiny Tim, is that you?
Oh, hello there, Mr. Scrooge. It's me, Tiny Tim. I've got a paper round now. Read all about it, read all about it.
Merry Christmas, Ebenezer. Was that my Timothy I just saw on the way out? I say, whatever is the matter? You look positively tired and sad.
Take a seat, Bob. I'm afraid it's not good news.
Why, of course. I assume I will be seeing you for Christmas dinner tomorrow.
Bob.
Martha's going to be putting on a huge spread.
Mr. Cratchit, don't make this harder than it needs to be.
I'm not sure I follow, Ebenezer.
There's no money, Bob. I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go.
Let me go where?
Let you go from the business.
Well, I should hope so. It's nearly closing time.
I'm giving you the sack, Bob.
A sack full of presents, I hope.
Cratchit, I'm sorry, but I'm firing you.
Fire me out of what?
Get out, Cratchit. You no longer work here.
What am I supposed to tell Martha and the kids?
Tell them I'm sorry.
But, Ebenezer, it's Christmas Eve.
It's Mr. Scrooge today, and you know the way out.
Of course. Sorry. A Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
But at least now things can't get any worse.
Mr. Scrooge! Mr. Scrooge! Telegram for you. That's right, boys and girls. I'm a delivery boy as well.
Thank you, Tiny Tim.
Don't you be breaking no sweats thanking me, Mr. Scrooge, after all you've done for my family.
Yes, thank you, Tiny Tim.
Like a second father you are, Mr. Scrooge.
Yes, that's enough of that, Tiny Tim.
Be seeing you later, Mr. Scrooge. And you too, boys and girls.
Dear Ebenezer, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been some time since we last spoke. Near 20 years,
if I am not mistaken. It is with sad hands this letter is written. But I cannot put off this weary deed any longer. Ebenezer, I require but a single signature from you, and I will be free to love again. Until then, part of my heart will always remain in your pocket, in your vault, locked away with all your cold coins. Your old boss, my current employer, Mr. Fezziwig, is throwing his annual Christmas party, and I would very much like to see you there to close this matter once and for all. Please, Ebenezer, if you ever loved me, sign the papers
and let me go. Yours respectfully, Belle of Fezziwig Ltd. Belle, how could I have forgotten her all these years? Is this you, spirits? Is this a sign? Is this what I must do to save my soul? Oh, I have a train to catch.
Scrooge found himself aboard a train heading towards the unknown, a storm of snow and sleet thrashing against the side of his carriage. He buried his head in a newspaper and tried to distract himself with a story about a badger that had gotten loose in a nursery.
Sorry, I hope you don't mind. Everywhere else is full. Oh, Uncle Scrooge! This must be some sort of Christmas miracle!
Yes, something like that.
Well, do you mind if I join you?
I don't suppose it would matter if I said no.
Oh, Uncle, you are such a joker. Oh, Clara and I could use some of that wit tomorrow at Christmas dinner.
I'm sure it will be a rip-roaring affair regardless.
Oh, come now, Uncle. You've been such a jolly old chap all year. I do hope you'll be spending the big day with someone tomorrow.
It appears I may be spending it with my wife.
You get out of here with that. I had no idea you were married.
It was many years ago, and many years more since I saw her last.
A Christmas reunion. Why, that's so romantic. So beautiful. How could you possibly be glum?
Take a look at the headlines, nephew.
My God. That badger really did a number on those toddlers.
No. Front page.
Oh, Uncle. You do look tired and sad.
Jesus Christ, Fred, look, I'm bankrupt.
And that's why you're being such a frowny face?
Look, Frederick, without my wealth, how am I to spread Christmas cheer? How am I to cleanse my soul and unshackle myself from the endless damnation that awaits me?
Uncle, pardon my language, but what the bloody hell are you talking about?
Listen, Fred, if I told you the truth, you'd think me bad.
Oh, go on. Try me. It's Christmas.
Fine. Where Shall I start? Let's see. Marley was dead to begin with. There was no doubt whatever about that. Dead as a doornail.
Uncle, is this going to take terribly long? Only I'm getting off at the next stop, and I really can't wait to take a bite of Clara's figgy pudding, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
Oh, she cooks really good figgy pudding.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant cunnilingus. To make a short story shorter, last Christmas I was haunted by 3 spirits who warned me that unless I changed my wretched ways, I would be guaranteed a one-way ticket to damnation and end up just like my old partner, Jacob Marley, chained forever to my greed and cruelty.
Oh, Uncle, you've been on the mulled wine early this year.
That I'm being serious, Fred. I tried to be charitable, to love my fellow man, and yet here I am, penniless and miserable.
You didn't learn your lesson, did you, Uncle?
But I've given away to everyone. Presents, clothes, houses. Surely that's good.
Oh, Uncle, you can't buy your way to heaven. Christmas, life, it's about more than just things.
Meanwhile, at that precise moment, down a crooked back alley garnished with more piss than you'd think possible, a draughty little pub swelled with frivolity, and Bob Cratchit drained another tankard of ale.
Same as before, barkeep, till I hit the floor.
You might want to slow down there. I know the sailors say that drinking be alike to stealing happiness from tomorrow. It would appear you're attempting a heist. Of course, I'm not complaining. Running a pub at Christmas is like committing a heist in itself. That'll be 3 penny.
Gosh, they've gone up in price.
Aye, you're drinking the new trendy stuff. Craft beer, they're calling it. I doubt it'll catch on.
Whatever next?
Say, Bob, I ain't seen you this bent out of shape since... Well, since you fell down those stairs and got all bent out of shape.
I lost a friend, and my job today.
'Tis a foul shame. But you must have enough squirreled away to put some presents under the tree tomorrow.
My family has become accustomed to a certain standard of living. Not classy by any means, but no longer slumming it. A sort of middle classy.
'Tis a rotten shame. Business is booming with it being Christmas, so I'll be spoiling my little darlings this year. It'll be presents, luxury and excess at old Kevin's not-so-humble abode tomorrow. That's right, my name's Kevin. Oh, sorry, sir, what can I do you for?
A brandy for my friend here.
Seems your luck may be changing, Cratchit. And for yourself, sir.
A glass of warm milk and some carrots if you've got 'em.
We got pork scratching?
Just the milk.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I couldn't help but overhear your plight, and I've always been very fond of gift-giving. In fact, Bob, if I can call you Bob, right?
How do you know my...
I couldn't help but overhear your lamentable situation. Imagine, Christmas and no cash to spend, no things to buy or presents to gift. Makes me sick.
I'm sure my family will understand.
Oh, Bob, you don't want to let your family down, do you? Don't you think Martha deserves something pretty to wear? Your children some toys to tinker?
Well, I was counting on my Christmas bonus to cover such frivolities, but now...
I think I might just be the answer to your prayers.
You mean you know why there is so much piss in this neighbourhood?
No, Bob, not that prayer, though it is soaking out there. No, I might just have a little job for you.
And with a laugh that jiggled the stranger's belly like a bowl full of jelly, he slid a coin purse, the size of a large coin purse, down the bar.
A job, you say?
Let's just say we share a common enemy.
Enemy? Just who are you?
Ho, ho, ho! Call me... Nick.
This is our final destination. All change now, all change. Welcome to Wiltshire.
Evening, station master. There was supposed to be a carriage sent for me.
And do you have a name, sir?
Well, of course I have a name.
Lucky you. My family was too poor to afford a name.
Well, what do they call you then?
Station master.
Right, well, I'm Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, yes, the one from the paper. You do look tired and sad.
Why does everyone keep... Look, that's not the point. I was told I'd be picked up at the station.
Let me check your tickets. Oh, yep, you're in the right place, but this ticket only covers your train fare.
What?
It'll be an extra shilling for the carriage, I'm afraid.
Ugh, fine. Have your coins, station master, and enjoy your blackened conscience to boot.
If you think I gain any joy or merriment from this grim task, you are incorrect, sir. I'm only here to put bread on the table, coal in the oven, and a name for wee station master too. Spitting image of me he is, spitting image. Except he's smaller, and he's got no shoes on. Oh, and looks like your carriage driver awaits. Have a Merry Christmas.
I'm trying.
Evening, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, for God's sake, Tiny Tim.
That's right, boys and girls. I'm a gosh darn carriage driver too.
How is it you're all the way out here, young man? I just got off a 4-hour train.
I go where work takes me, and I don't ask questions.
Look, can you just get me where I'm going in one piece?
Yeah! Don't you be fretting, Mr. Scrooge. I'm on it.
Wait, are you old enough to be driving this vehicle?
It's all right, sir. Driving a carriage, well, it's just like riding a bike.
Right.
Of course, I never did learn how to ride a bike on account of my gammy leg.
Look out!
Oh, sorry, Mr. Scrooge. I'm trying my best to concentrate, but I'm awfully worried about my dad. He can come home after work. Oh, I'm just fearful something bad's happened to him. You know, like falling down a well or being fired from his job. You know, something awful.
Look, Tiny Tim, there's something I need to tell you.
We're here!
Oh, gosh. That was quick.
There are no speed limits yet, Mr. Scrooge, so I bloody well floored it. I beat this horse half to death for you, Mr. Scrooge.
Right, well, thank you.
Always hated horses. Arrogant creatures.
Tiny Tim, about your father.
Wow, wee, Mr. Scrooge. I think I see a shooting star. Quick, make a wish.
It's just...
Don't tell me what you wish for, Mr. Scrooge, else it won't come true. Cross your fingers and close your eyes and make a wish. Sorry, what were you saying before?
Never mind. I best be getting on.
Let me know if you'll be needing anything, Mr. Scrooge. Yeah!
It had been many years since Scrooge had been to the Fezziwig's warehouses, now the illustrious Fezziwig Plaza. The place had once housed him decades ago as an apprentice, where he had learned to love business and prosperity. In an office in that very building, footsteps clacked along the old oak floors.
Mr. Fezziwig, the guests are beginning to arrive, and the mulled wine is barely warm. It's a total disaster down there.
Belle, I do wish you'd enjoy yourself. It's a party, not an audit.
Oh, I'd take 1,000 audits over tonight.
Belle, whatever is the matter?
Oh, I don't wish to get into it.
Well, at least try to enjoy
There
it.
I was, a girl of 19 years, giving my heart and soul away. At a Christmas party in this very building, Mr. Fezziwig, I fell in love with Ebenezer Scrooge. I loved how he spoke about coins and profits. He was mystifying. But after a time, I realized he loved those coins and profits more than I, and he left to pursue them.
That was very succinct, but I don't...
There's more. Tonight. Tonight, I will see him again. I wish to finally free myself from his magnetic clutches. You must stop me, Mr. Fezziwig. He is to me like a flame, and I, the tragic, lustful moth.
I'm lost.
Don't be. Once you see him again, his powers of seduction will become clear.
I think that's him now.
Oh my God. Look at his awful posture. His beady eyes. Dead, greasy hair. Oh!
Belle! Wait! Where are you going?
Good evening, Mr. Fezziwig.
By my life, if it isn't Ebenezer Scrooge. Please, call me Franklin.
Of course, yes. Business appears to be booming.
Ah, Ebenezer, you know me. A business should be naught but a way to write a guest list.
Learning slowly but surely, I assure you.
Excellent. Please, I must ask, weren't you recently in the papers? Something about you...
Go on, tell me. Do I look tired and sad?
And I must say that I don't think the papers know what they're talking about. Can I get you anything? Cake? Some ethanol punch? Maybe a little rug and tug, if you know what I mean?
I don't.
Well, there's some chaps playing tug-of-war on the rug over there.
Oh, I thought you were offering me a hand job. No, I'm actually here looking for Belle.
Belle Kissinger? Yes, I think she has retreated to her office.
Much obliged.
Scrooge had not seen Belle in some time. As he made his way through the labyrinthian corridors, his mind raced. Eventually, he approached the door to her office and knocked 3 times.
Come in.
Belle,
God. Ebenezer, you look so good. Your skin, so dry and musty.
You look nice.
Don't you dare tempt me with those cloying tones of yours.
I wasn't trying to,
God damn it, Ebenezer. You're still a stallion, aren't you? Oh, I mustn't.
Look, I'm not the man I once was.
I know. Now you've got this whole silver fox thing going on. I mean, it is Christmas, and I could really use my turkey stuffed. Oh, Jesus Christ, I need a moment.
Of course. Mr. Fezziwig may have let slip that you're using your maiden name, Belle Kissinger?
Well, I haven't seen you in nearly 20 years.
Well, if that is the case, I would prefer if you stopped cashing checks in my name. The business has...
And there he is. Now I remember. Always too interested in his capital to appreciate me. I loved you.
Loved? As in past tense?
Even if you're the most gorgeous man I've ever laid eyes on, you're still as heartless as you ever were. This is why we didn't work.
Well, you wanted to travel.
You wanted to stay in London.
You never listened.
Pardon?
You wanted children.
You have a daughter.
What?
Hello, Father.
You never said. You never...
You never asked. Come on, Jane.
Is this some sort of test spirit? Another one? Oh, well, Fred, if life is about more than just things, perhaps I should just give them all away. Live without luxury, without warmth. Will that please you, Fred? Will that please you, spirit? Here, take this.
And with disdain, Scrooge threw his coat to the ground.
And these.
And off came his shoes.
Take the very shirt from my back, spirits.
He confusingly relinquished his trousers as he shouted this utterance, and Scrooge continued to spitefully remove his garments. He was just about to remove his long johns and really spice up this old Christmas tale when, suddenly, a gunshot rang out.
What in the wretched hell was that?
What in the wretched hell was that? Exclaimed Scrooge, his toes taut upon the tapestry. Whilst downstairs a man was killed, and the stairs were ascended by an uninvited guest. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples so merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. He kicked down the door and brandished a gun. He let off a shot, which put an end to the fun.
No.
The room was soon filled with creatures so stout, each holding a rifle, and then he started to shout. He said, "Merry Christmas, you have no need to worry. We're here for Ebenezer, then we'll be off in a hurry. Perhaps you may know him, a miserable lad, a frown on his face, which is tired and sad." "That's enough of that," Mr. Fezziwig contended, and with this exclamation, the rhyme swiftly ended.
Ah, yes, Fezziwig, the man who used to be in charge. How do you do? My name is St. Nicholas.
Now, you listen here, Nicholas. You're not welcome here, or your friends.
Ho, ho, ho! They're elves, my dear Mr. Fezziwig, and they mean you no harm.
No harm at all.
Not unless you give us a reason. 'Tis quite a party you're having here, after all.
I pride myself on my generosity. My employees, they're like family to me.
A man of finer things, I can respect it. That's a fine frock coat I have too myself.
At that very moment, Scrooge, clad in naught but his unmentionables, had crept from the office and made his way to the upper gallery to get a better look at the intruders. This is all getting quite intense, isn't it? Gosh.
We could discuss men's fashion all day, I'm sure. But again I must ask, where is Ebenezer Scrooge?
I am afraid I don't know who you're talking about.
Mr. Fezziwig, please don't think me a fool. I will not be asking again. Where is he?
I'm lost. What sort of terrorists are you?
My dear Mr. Fezziwig, who said we were terrorists?
I don't understand.
This is too nice a frock coat to ruin, Mr. Fezziwig. I'm going to count to 3. There will not be a 4. Tell me where he is.
I don't know. I've never known a Mr. Scrooge. I'm afraid you'll have to kill me.
Okay. I wanted this to be professional, efficient, cooperative. Not a lot to ask. Alas, your Mr. Fezziwig did not see it that way, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. We are prepared to go any way you make us. When we have achieved our aims, you can walk out of here, or be carried out. Decide now, each of you.
Scrooge ran from the room full of fear and fright.
What was that? Gumdrop? Licorice? Investigate.
Yes, boss.
He ran to the stairs, up flight upon flight.
Why the hell didn't you stop them, Ebenezer? Because, you fool. You'll be dead too. Think, goddammit, think. This is you, isn't it, Spirit? Oh, I should send word to Tiny Tim. He might be able to contact the appropriate authorities. Tiny Tim! I need your help!
Scrooge called down to the stables, hoping his friend had lingered. All of a sudden, Scrooge heard footsteps.
I think the shouting's coming from the top floor.
We've got him. St. Nick will be pleased.
You keep an eye on the stairs.
Of course, brother. Be safe. I love you.
Hey. I love you too.
Thanks, brother. Give me a hug.
Try and stop me, brother. Wish me luck.
Gumdrop, you're an elf. You don't need luck.
Now come on, Mr. Scrooge. You both know you're a good man. Do the noble thing and give yourself up. friend won't be coming to help you. Why don't you just come and join the others? I promise not to hurt you.
Something tells me you're lying, but it's Christmas, and I'm trying very, very hard to believe in the goodwill of man.
Ha! I am no man. Merry Christmas!
Tiny Tim!
You asked for my help, Mr. Scrooge.
But where on earth did you get a gun, young man?
It's like I said. I go where work takes me, and I don't ask questions.
Well, I suppose this little fellow won't be needing this anymore. But how on earth did you find me? I thought the gunman had the building under lockdown.
This creaky old place inexplicably has a state-of-the-art ventilation system, Mr. Scrooge.
I'm not sure I follow.
You'll have to. The air ducts have enough crawl space to get about the building undetected. Look. It's a little grubby, but a darn sight better than my time as a chimney sweep.
Well, when in Wiltshire...
Oh, my Christmas! Gumdrop! Speak to me!
Oh. Right, vent burn, ow.
Oh, God. Oh. I say, it's awfully dark.
Give me a second. Much better. Say, have you any idea which way we're going?
We need to get back to the party. I was a terrible coward. I don't know who that fellow was or what his grievances are with me, but I cannot let any harm befall my bell.
You can always buy a new bell, but not a new face if those little meanies blows yours off.
Bell is my wife, Tiny Tim, though I fear the love is gone.
Oh, blimey. Forgive me, sir. My old man, your best friend, he says when you love someone, you got to hold on to them, for it can be a mighty cold world out there without someone to hold.
Wise fellow, your father.
Gosh, I do hope he's all right. Wish I held on to him a little longer last I saw him. You never know how much time you have with someone, you know. It keeps me up at night, it does. The fragile nature of lives. Like glass we are, Mr. Scrooge. Such beautiful, delicate creatures. It's like that.
Tiny Tim, are you all right?
I'm all right, Mr. Scrooge. Oh, it looks like some of the vents aren't up to supporting our weight.
I don't think I'll be able to make it over to you. The gap, it's too large.
You have to jump it, Mr. Scrooge. There's no going back now.
I don't know if I could be so bold.
Don't be bold, be brave. I'll be here to catch you.
Like glass, you said, Tiny Tim.
I'm 9, why are you listening to me? Now jump!
You just said not to listen to you.
Jump for Bell, Mr. Scrooge, jump!
Gah! Ah! Ah!
Hold on! I got you! Gosh, what a jump, Mr. Scrooge. Glad I had my matchbook on me. I'd hate to have only heard that all play out. What a rip-roaring visual set piece that was.
Shh. I think we're getting close. Close to the party.
What's he saying?
Shh. Listen carefully.
Lollipop! Take these down to the stables. The reindeer's tummies will no doubt be rumbling.
Right away, boss.
Toffee! Any word from Licorice or Gumdrop?
Nothing yet, boss.
Well, keep those pointy ears of yours pricked. And you, Fudge, keep doing what you're doing. I'm really pleased with how your work has been coming along.
Thanks, boss. You just made my night.
Sorry to interrupt. I can see you're in the middle of scheming and whatnot.
Ho, ho, ho! I suppose I am. How can I help?
Well, a lot of people have broken the seal. This is a Christmas party, and we have a pregnant lady amongst our company. Relax, she's not due for a couple of weeks.
Do go on.
We were wondering if we might be permitted to use the water closet. Maybe grab her some pillows. This wooden floor isn't exactly doing her back any favors.
And who exactly put you in charge?
You did. When you murdered my boss.
Mr. Fezziwig picked his people well, Mrs.
Kissinger. Belle Kissinger.
Consider your demands met, Miss Kissinger. Your people are free to answer nature's call, but remember, we will be watching.
You'll be watching?
No, gosh, no, I know you think I'm a monster, but I'm not a pervert. Licorice! What news? Where's Gumdrop, and why is your face strewn with angry tears?
My brother's dead.
Dead? How can this be?
I don't know, but I want blood.
And you shall have it. Lollipop, go and scout the upper floors. He can't have gotten far.
Right away, boss.
And do tread carefully. Now he has a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
That means there's 4 of those grim little fellows left, plus their ringleader. I make it 5.
6, Mr. Scrooge. They have a chap set up in the lobby downstairs to keep watch. I caught a glimpse of him as I was sneaking in. Seemed oddly familiar.
Blast! I suppose we'll have to fight our way out.
Are you gonna kill 'em all?
If I have to, I've got to save my family.
Darn right! Because when you love someone,
You hold on.
now you're getting it. So what's the plan?
God, let me think. When did you see this fellow down by the desk?
Just after I raised the alarm to the proper authorities.
You raised the alarm?
A couple of the local pickpockets owed me a favour. Shot them a couple of pretty pennies and sent them off to raise the alarm. With any luck, the bobbies will be arriving any moment now.
Tiny Tim, you are magnificent. Come on, let's get out of these vents.
And sure enough, the sound of the cavalry gnawed out, sending a jolt of fear through old Nick's bones. He called down to the lobby at once.
Cratchit, just like we discussed, play your part well, and no one else has to get hurt, old boy. Let him in.
Bob merely nodded, his face as white as a sheet. His new boss was not what he had expected, and he sat in a chair once occupied by a man who was now stuffed in a cubicle in the nearby water closet. He breathed deep, thought of Martha and the kids, opening presents and scoffing down turkey.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, sir. Gone home for a quick chinwag.
Evening, officer. Is everything all right?
Well, you see, we had an anonymous tip that there was a problem here.
Oh, must be those lousy orphans playing a Christmas prank on us.
Huh. I see. The chaps seem to have reports of commotion.
Gosh, sorry, we're having a little Christmas party upstairs. Few too many swigs of brandy for some of our more rowdy guests, perhaps.
Well, I suppose it is Christmas. You have a good one. Say, don't suppose I could use your bathroom? It's a while back to the station, and making yellow snow is a public offence.
That bathroom? The one right...
The one right over there, yeah? With all the blood stains leading towards it.
Wait, I can explain.
And the bullet holes in the wall. Hang on! I just remembered. I pissed myself on the way here. Sorry to waste your time, and Merry Christmas.
Oh yes, Merry Christmas.
And a crappy New Year the way I'm going.
Bob, are we clear? What is he doing?
Meanwhile...
Oh, I'm glad we're out of those vents, Tiny Tim.
Mr. Scrooge, look out!
Hands up, scumbag!
Oh, bother.
Get him, Mr. Scrooge!
And Scrooge, with all his pen-pushing might, tossed the elf by his peppermint limbs towards the window.
Bob, Are we clear? What is he doing?
Looks like the officer's walking back to his horse. He's getting on. Okay, he's looking up. Now one of your little friends has just come and splattered himself all over his horse. Now he's running in the opposite direction like a penguin with his arse on fire.
Scrooge!
God blimey, Mr. Scrooge. Nothing like trauma to humble a fucking horse. Why the long face, you rat bastard? Shame you missed the pig, though. Would have been double points.
With any luck, he'll be back and bring some real firepower. Plus, I think that small fellow I just sent tumbling was the one they called Lollipop.
Meaning there's only 5 of them left?
Well then, Tiny Tim, let's save Christmas.
As Scrooge and Tiny Tim prepared for war, St. Nick's blood boiled. With fire in his eyes, he addressed the remaining conspirators.
Ebenezer Scrooge is not a warrior, nor a soldier. He is an estate agent. Yet 2 of our number are dead, and he evades us still. I remind you that we come not as conquerors, but as liberators. We are here to return Christmas to the people. He talks of good cheer, and if left unchecked, his generosity will poison their simple wine-soaked minds. For Christmas is not a time for charity or generosity. It is a time to reward yourselves for a year of hard work. A year of the rat race, stodgy little offices, and soot clogging the skies, all worth it for those presents under the tree. For what better reward is there for work than spending? They work so they may, once a year, adorn themselves, their families, with all our, wonderful things. You were all chosen, hand-picked from the best my workshop had to offer, and I confess myself to be disappointed. It is Christmas Eve. Once we have the bastard within our grasp, there are stockings to be stuffed across the globe. Now, with the police force on their way, the clock is ticking. Look to your fellow elf and ask not what Christmas can do for you, but what you can do for Christmas!
Lock and load, Tiny Tim.
Locked and loaded.
They're up on the 3rd floor. This way.
Here they come. Yeah.
On your left, Mr. Scrooge.
Got him.
He's behind that desk.
Look out, Mr. Scrooge.
He's mine.
On your right.
Hello. My name's Licorice. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
Please, wait. We don't have to do this, you know.
Word of warning. Never hesitate.
Thanks for the advice. Well, Tiny Tim, I think that means that there's only... Wait, Tiny Tim? Where are you?
We have the building surrounded. Put down the guns and we can negotiate.
St. Nick, Scotland Yard are here, and in record time as well.
Thank you, Mr. Cratchit. I'm glad your skills of observation came at so low a price.
There, you foul oaf. Your reign of terror is over. You've lost.
Police interference was always inevitable. We have the hostages, remember? My team and I are still in charge.
Your team? By now, Ebenezer will have torn through your ranks like the big, steamy slice of Christmas pud he is.
I would not be so sure, Miss Kissinger.
I lost Scrooge on the 3rd floor, but this one's been helping him, boss.
Get off me, you little creep.
Who are you calling little Tiny?
Who are you calling Tiny, you... Wait a minute. Dad? What are you doing here?
Tiny Tim! Please, I can explain.
You You've been working with these terrorists, haven't you, Dad?
Son, I lost my job.
Well, that was careless of you.
Look, I only ever wanted to give you a good Christmas.
They've been trying to kill me all night, Dad. And I don't know about you, but a bullet to the noggin isn't exactly my idea of a Merry Christmas.
Tiny Tim, I
remember when we needed nothing else but each other to have a Merry Christmas, to hold tight and love as best as you can.
Quite the boy you have there, Bob. He seems to have forgotten the true meaning of Christmas. Someone just made the naughty list.
Well, if that isn't what Christmas is about, to quote my good friend, Mr. Scrooge, bah humbug, motherfucker!
And quite the mouth on him.
He's right, though. Isn't he, Nick?
Silence the pair of you.
But he is right, though, St. Nick.
And that's enough from you too, Belle.
Belle? Cool, blimey, you must be Mr. Scrooge's beloved. He's coming to rescue you, Belle. He can't wait to...
Scrooge is beloved, you say? Belle Kissinger? Or is it Belle Scrooge? Oh, I'm a little confused.
Oh, blast.
Well, if we can reunite a father and son, let us see if we can rekindle the flame of the Scrooges. Ho, ho, ho! Toffee!
Yes, boss?
Take all three of them to the roof at once, and if they try to run, you know what to do.
And you, boss?
I'll deal with the fuzz. If you want something done right, do it yourself.
And where I can see it, I really want to shoot.
Please, please, don't shoot me. There was a party. We were celebrating, and then all of a sudden there was this shooting. They were threatening us.
Calm down, sir. You're safe with us. Do you know what's going on in there?
I'm sure I heard one of the terrorists say they were heading to the 3rd floor.
You heard it, boys. All fire on the 3rd floor windows?
Just like that.
We're the police, sir. We're here to protect and serve the peace. No questions asked. Now open fire!
High above the ground, Scrooge's world suddenly erupted into a cacophony of gunfire and glass. His bare feet dodged and weaved as fast as the old man could muster. Left, right, all of the directions. Then his foot struck a foul, and the jagged glass tore through his soul.
Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay. 1, 2. I've got to. It's Spirit, if you are out there, I'm getting a bad feeling. I'd like you to do something for me, Spirit. One last favor. My wife Belle and my daughter. I want you to tell them. Tell them I've been a fool. Belle, she was the best thing that ever happened to a tired, sad old grouch like me. Tell her I love her. Tell her I'm sorry. Sorry that I didn't make it my mission, that she knew that. Every day. Tell her I should have held on tight. You got all that? Tell her, Spirit. Tell her from me.
You can tell her yourself, Ebenezer.
Come now, Scrooge. You didn't think we'd forgotten about you now, did you?
Spirit, it's you. Of Christmas past, present, and future. Is this a dream? How can the same misfortune happen to the same man twice?
This is no dream, Ebenezer. We're here. with you as we have always been.
We're here, lad. Know you have a better man to spend this Christmas Eve with.
I see one of your numbers remains as silent as ever. But spirits, tell me, will Belle live? Will Tiny Tim? What is to become of them?
It is not for me to say, Ebenezer, for my Christmases are long gone.
And I can see no further than this here moment, my lad.
What of you? The spirit I have always feared the most. What can you see of their future? I see. No.
No?
No! I will not.
What are you doing, lad? You can barely stand.
This whole time.
You can barely walk.
This whole year I've been giving things away. Money and presents, but it's not enough. I never shared the most valuable things in the world, not with anyone. My time, my love.
Please, Ebenezer.
My life.
Please, my lad. St. Nick, it'll kill you.
Bah, humbug. Tell me. Tell me.
Please.
Where are they? Where is my family? Ah, thank you. Well, Merry Christmas, spirits. I doubt I'll be seeing you again next year.
You don't know what you're doing.
I do, spirit. For the first time in my life, I'm doing the right thing.
But wait, Scrooge! What of the great chains you have forged? A nightmare waits for you!
Fuck off, Marley.
And he hobbled out towards the winding old stairs of the Fezziwig Plaza. Floors above him, St. Nick strolled out onto the rooftop, a search of the third floor having produced no sign of Scrooge, and barked to his remaining elf.
Somehow, Scrooge survived.
He's alive?
Remarkably, and heading our way, no doubt. A tenacious man, your ex-husband.
Husband. He's my husband.
I don't care. Do not let our guests leave your sight, elf.
Yes, boss. Do you really think we can beat him? I mean, after what...
Toffee? I am St. Nicholas. Chris Kringle. Santa Claus. I am Father fucking Christmas.
Yes, boss. Of course.
You're gonna lose. Men like you always lose in the end.
And what sort of man am I, exactly?
A bastard man.
Oh! You really should teach your son some manners, Bob. Now come here, you little brat.
Oh, stop it! You're hurting me!
Please, Nick, stop.
Silence, all of you! Else Tiny Tim's about to get a whole head tinier.
Then, all of a sudden, came a limp and a shout.
St. Nicholas!
And our hero, Ebenezer, came stumbling out.
Ebenezer, you look like absolute shit.
Belle, we've got to stop meeting like this. And you, take the gun away from Tiny Tim. It's me you want. And here I am. But I've got to know, what did I ever do to you? Why did any of this have to happen?
Ho, ho, ho! You're not the only one that's taken a peek into the future. Your times are shifting, Scrooge, and so will Christmas. I am to be a figurehead, Scrooge. I've seen it. My image on trucks, billboards, moving pictures you could not even comprehend. A glass bottle full of a rich caramel pop clutched in my mittens, and a coat of red fur on my back, I am iconic. I am Christmas. And do you have any idea how much money there is in licensing rights?
So what? This whole thing, it's been about money?
Christmas is about to become very commercial. And I can't have anyone, no matter how insignificant, stand in my way. You, Scrooge, with your charity and your goodwill to all mankind. If a man with a heart as cruel and as loathsome as you can be convinced, anyone can. So I have to make an example.
You're wrong. You kill me and nothing will change. There will always be people with love in their hearts and a quick in their step around this time of year. There will be people that see through the likes of you. Monsters that value the number of coins in their pocket more than the friends at their table.
Touching sentiment, Scrooge. And all the proof I needed. Oh yes, what was it Tiny Tim said to me before? Bah humbug, motherfucker.
Oh, Tiny Tim, you did not. Tiny Tim, I get it.
Ho, ho, ho!
Tiny Tim, now!
And without missing a beat, the boy swung his crutch into old St. Nick's belly, which wobbled again like a bowl full of jelly. Nick shouted, "How dare you!" as his stomach was struck. Toffee threw down his weapon and shouted, "Good luck!" The elf ran for the stairs, and Scrooge dived for the gun. But Belle beat him to it, and soon it was done. She fired off one shot in a flash, oh so quick, and called to her captor, "Happy trails, dear St. Nick." The bullet tore through him, and the violence was grim. But old Nick was clever, and he grabbed Tiny Tim. Off the roof they went tumbling, and Tim did call out, "This is no time for rhyming. Will you cut it out?" Scrooge, he leapt forward and caught hold of the lad, but Nick held on tighter, his face wild and mad. He brought up his weapon and got ready to shoot, whilst Tim kicked away with the heel of his boot. Scrooge then saw what Nick had chosen to wear: thick woolen gloves to keep his hands from cold air. He thought oh so fast and unbuttoned Nick's mitten, and out slipped his hand with the grace of a kitten. His face it contorted, his eyes they did pop, as he realized his fate, and then started to drop.
Tiny Tim, I've got you.
I'm slipping, Mr. Scrooge!
What do we do when we love?
We hold on! If this is how you do Christmas, Mr. Scrooge, I've got to be there for New Year's.
Thank you. You saved him. My Tiny Tim, I'm so sorry, Mr. Scrooge, I didn't.
Don't worry, Bob, and it's Ebenezer. Plus, I think he saved me.
Don't you be getting all mushy on me now, Mr. Scrooge.
I don't know what to say. Ebenezer, Timothy, I'm so sorry for all of this. I didn't mean for it to go so far. I didn't know what...
Bob, it's okay. What's done is done, and we're all safe.
Still, I just wanted my family to have a good Christmas, and I almost got them all killed.
Don't worry, Dad. The trauma will only make me wittier.
Just thank you, Ebenezer. I suppose I'll see you around.
Monday?
But I thought...
We'll figure it out. Bob, the deeds we do for love are often mad. Why, Tiny Tim, Bob, this is my wife, Belle Kissinger.
It's Belle Scrooge, actually.
Belle, I just wanted to say, after all these years, well, I'm,
Ebenezer, it can wait.
No, you don't understand. I'm sorry,
Shh. We have plenty of time to talk later.
We do?
Oh, just shut those non-existent lips of yours and kiss me already, you fool.
Well, I suppose I will have to help you stuff that turkey tomorrow, if you know what I mean.
Sex.
Yes, sex.
Mr. Scrooge, I know you're awfully busy smooching and all, but I think I see another shooting star.
I don't think that's a shooting star, Tiny Tim.
It's a sleigh, and those are...
Reindeer. 8 flying reindeer.
Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Well, I suppose he'll be back then.
And we'll be ready. But I'm sorry you didn't get your wish, Tiny Tim.
Looking around right now, Mr. Scrooge, I really think I did.
Me too, Tiny Tim. Me too. Now, can someone please find me a doctor? I've lost a lot of blood.
And Scrooge was as good as his word, for he had lost a lot of blood. And so it came to pass. And so concludes A Christmas Carol too. A messier, bloodier affair than perhaps intended. And yes, there was fan service, and yes, I'm sure you've heard it all before. But that's populist entertainment for you, isn't it? Where was I? Scrooge was finally at peace, no longer worried if his goodness was enough, no longer acting in fear of some great beyond. He was happy, and goodness sprang forth as it always does. And as Tiny Tim, who did not die again, observed,
God bless us, everyone.
Thank you for listening to A Christmas Carol 2. It was a Big Swan production, written by Richard Yule and performed by friends of the company during the winter 2020 lockdown. Stay safe and have a very Merry Christmas.